What's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. This video will be about the situation at Leeds United at the moment. Have you seen the title and what's going on and how bad this is going to be getting? In my opinion, just what apparently we spoke to Nuno, and we're not bringing him because we had to pay 5 million. 5 million. We had to pay 5 million. This makes no sense. The board don't want to pay 5 mil just to bring in Nuno. This makes no sense. And I've seen, I know, I seen a thing on Twitter of someone putting something about like people had a vote of who they want to be the manager, and Nuno and stuff were there, and like a bunch of people think Skabala above all of them. Huh? I like Skabala. I'm not gonna blame him for what's gonna happen if anything bad happens. I'm not gonna blame him if we lose against Everton. I'm not gonna blame him if we lose against Southampton, which could be under Jesse Marsh. Oh God. Anyway, but that's not gonna be good. Firstly, the stadiums get Ellen Road will get toxic. Goodison will get toxic if we go 1-0 down. It's all going to get toxic. The board are just terrible. Their board have done nothing good at all. The only good thing they ever did was brought in Bielsa. That's the only thing they've ever done good, in my opinion, in their whole entire running this football club. They're not good. We're being run like a League One club, like a League One club in the Premier League. Well, it doesn't make sense. We're getting run like we're a League One club when we're in the Premier League, and we need. Under Bielsa, we didn't bring in the players, and then all of a sudden under Marsh, we back him to the hills. After one game, we get rid of him. Why do that? Get rid of him before the transfer window, and then the new manager comes in. Which, in my opinion, I'm going to say this: I think we would have got a good manager if we sacked him after Fulham. Which we should have, because Fulham was the performance where I'm like, nah, this has got to end, in my opinion. I thought this should have ended, or it was really close to ending. The only thing that saved him was the lucky win against Liverpool, because Liverpool are bad this season. And then against Bournemouth was a lucky comeback when we were 3-1 down. We were just lucky to get that comeback against a team that weren't that good, and they were a poor team. Sack him even then, and I think we're in a great position. Part of me saying, do I want us to lose against Everton so then the board panic and they actually do bring in Nuno? Because if we win against Everton and then win against Southampton, the board are going to say, look, Skabala's going to save you. You're going to stay up. Thank us. No, you're getting none of the respect. Skabala is, but you're not. But the thing is, if Skabala does win, that's what I'm saying. If Skabala does win, the board are going to go, oh, he'll keep him up. Bang, let him be in charge for the rest of the season. Which is not how you should be working at a Premier League club. Because I'm not going to say anything. Skabala was he was a futsal coach. He was in I don't know where he was. Was it UEFA? Was he part of like the UEFA or the FA or something? I don't know where he was before then. Like before, he was a PE teacher, and now he's been managing Leeds United's under 21s, and now he's just made the jump up, which is a massive jump up from which some people don't not acknowledge how big of a jump up the under 21s is compared to the Premier League. People don't understand that. People don't understand how, big of a leap that is, because someone's doing well in the under 21s and they're like, oh, bring him into the first team. No, because the step up is about like that. It's a massive step up. Even for the coach, it's a massive step up. And Skabala getting put in this situation is not good when we could have legit brought in Nuno for 5 million. 5 million is not that much compared to if you stay in the Premier League, you get about 100 mil? You get about 100 mil for staying in the Premier League, and you're just not going to spend 5 million to bring in an actual good coach. Sell Helder Costa, that's about 2-3 mil. That's about more than half of it. Sell Helder Costa. Helder Costa could go for 2-3 mil. Maybe even could sell him for 5 mil, and that covers it. He could go for like 5 mil, and that would cover the Nuno thing. It's stupid. I saw that on Twitter. Someone said something about, why don't we just sell Helder Costa? They'll put the money in for it. And like 5 million is not that much in football terms. In football terms, it's nothing when you get 100 million for survival. Or, we said when we got up, we want to push for Europe. We want to be a team that strives to push for Europe. When we first got in the Premier League, if you don't remember back then, we said we wanted to push for Europe and push for the top and push for Champions League. We went to 9th, signed no good players, except, did we sign anyone after the first season? I don't think we did at all. I think we might have signed like 1 or 2. We then go, oh, Bielsa got them 9th, so he'll be fine next season. Then we plummet. Oh, sack Bielsa, it's his fault. He didn't want players, blah, 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 trying to blame him for everything. Oh, Jesse Marsh, we'll bring him in. Oh, yeah, but let's back Jesse Marsh and bring in all these players that are actually really good players. And under Bielsa, I feel like would have. I'm just saying. I know people hate saying this, but hate people saying this. But I think under Bielsa, this team is a top 10 team. Or under any good coach, to be honest, any good coach. And I backed Jesse Marsh at the start of the season, so you can't even say I'm a hater of Americans that people say. You're a hater of Americans. You're racist to Americans. Like, that's a thing. I don't know how you can be like it makes no sense of people saying that as well. And I think the game against Everton is going to get toxic if we go 1-0 down, which I could see happening because they'll just if they score first, we're not scoring because they're just going to put everyone behind the ball. And then that's going to be the rest of the game. It's going to probably end 1-0. And then Southampton, if Jesse Marsh beats us, could you imagine the outroar of the fans booing the board at full time after Jesse Marsh's Southampton beat us? But the thing is, when we sacked Jesse Marsh, we should have had a plan to bring someone in. Southampton, even though they bring in Jesse Marsh, reportedly, he's on the verge of going there, so it might still fall under. But they had an option. They had someone. They'll just go. Straight away they had an idea. They had an idea of who they wanted to get. So when they sacked him, they bang, let's go for him. Leeds United are like, oh yeah, white smoke. It'll be announced today or tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, I think it said. The tweet was, oh yeah, white smoke, and then we'll sign. He'll come back. Then we sign no one. We don't have a manager still after what's it been since the white smoke tweet? About a week. And this board is terrible. What are the 49ers thinking right now? What are the 49ers actually thinking? The 49ers thinking, God, this place is a shit show. Do we want to just leave? Like, they haven't bought the club out yet. If we get relegated, they're not taking over if we get relegated. I think people don't realise that. They are leaving if we get relegated. They're not taking over this club if we get relegated at all. They're going to go to another club or go find another team probably. Or maybe just not go back to football, but I think they would. They would find another team that's in the Premier League. Like, this is stupid. We need Premier League survival for them, the 49ers, to come in and actually spend money, which they're only part of this transfer window. And look at all the signs we have, which I think most of it was down to the 49ers. And they're only part owned at the moment. And look at the signings we got. Imagine when they're full owned and we stay in the Premier League, which I'm nervous that's not going to happen under Skoobs, even though I think he's doing good for the position he's been put in. What if all we have to do is stay up, and so bring in Nuno for 5 mil? Like, we have the option. Just spend the money to get his release clause, and we're good. Otherwise, we could be back in the Championship. It could be another 16 or even more, or maybe even less. But do you really want another, 5, 10, 16 years back in the Championship and League One? Maybe not League One, but the Championship? Do you want to go back to being a mid-table Championship? You remember how boring that was? I think the board have made a terrible mistake, and the board have never been actually that good besides bringing in Bielsa, and Bielsa saved them so many times, in my opinion. He saved them so many times, turning average players into people in the media saying, whoa, these players are really good. Like Patrick Bamford, he turned him into an England international. Jack Harrison almost got a call-up. Luke Ayling was up there for a call-up. He turned these average Championship players, and I love the players. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love the players, so this is not a slight on them, but the way he managed them and coached them, he turned them into England, people that could be called up for England or called up for their nation, It's amazing, And then, so I don't know what's going to happen at Everton. We'll find out if we win or lose, and we'll find out what's going to happen. But that's my opinion on what's going on at the club at the moment. If you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next time. Peace.